Today we're going to be looking at Adobe Premiere Rush, or Adobe Rush for short. It is a superb solution that Adobe has put out to enable videographers, YouTubers, people who want to be able to edit video seamlessly, to do it on their phones, their tablets, their desktop, and to do it more quickly to get content up faster. Does Adobe Rush deliver and allow you to get the content up faster? Okay, we're looking at Adobe Rush today, and Adobe Rush is a program that is completely separate from Adobe Premiere, though you can integrate them together. Adobe Premiere has a button inside of it that allows you to import Adobe Rush content, though keep in mind you cannot do the reverse. You cannot import Premiere projects into Rush, at least from the Rush dashboard. So let's take a look at this here on the desktop, and I'm going to open up Adobe Rush. I'm using a MacBook Pro, so today this tutorial will be for what it is like in the MacBook Pro. So as we look at this, we want to keep in mind that Adobe Rush is a scaled down version of Premiere, so there aren't going to be all of the editing options that you have in Premiere. For example, time-lapse, masking, keying, those things are left to Premiere. So today, just basic editing inside Adobe Rush is what we will be looking at. Okay, so here's the dashboard in Premiere Rush, and I have some footage already in here. Here's something that I did is a quick review with my son on some Adobe AirPods. So as you can see, when you open up into the interface, you have your main menu up here. You have, of course, the display module here, and then over here you have your titles. You can adjust fonts and so forth over here. For some reason my machine is running really slow. That you can change your titles, fonts, so forth. You have basic ones here that you can use. All you really have to do is just drag this over. You can put it in between your clips like that, or you can stack them if you want it over the top. There you go. And again, you can move this around to different parts of that, and of course to change the title, you just do that. But that's just a simple example of a title in Rush, and to delete, I just made sure I was focused on it and deleted it. Okay, here are the transitions. Now we are limited on transitions in Rush to just these 4, at least initially. Maybe they'll provide a way to incorporate some additional ones later. Here are some color presets, which are nice for bringing different types of, just click on the clip that you want to change, and you can change these out down here. Or you can click on the edit and do some more specific changes within that preset, or you can go back to no preset and then just hit edit, and then you've got a number of variables that you can change here, which makes for a lot of control over the way your footage is going to look. Sharpening, faded film, and a lot of these that are pretty straightforward. Or you can just choose the preset ones here to give it different effects if you're in a hurry. This three dot thing, you can actually create your own. So if you make a number of adjustments on footage and you have a lot of clips that are going to require the same adjustments, you can create your own preset if it doesn't fall within these built-in ones, and then save your own, so you can save time to not have to make all those manual adjustments over and over again. Okay, so that's the color. Come over here. Here's the audio. You've got your clip volume. Now if you come over here on this side, you can click here on this and it'll expand the audio so you can see the wavelengths better. And once you do that, it will become much easier to work with the audio settings over here on the right sidebar. So there's the clip volume. Keep in mind that we have this one selected over here, so that's the one that it's adjusting. You can go into Advanced and you've got different controls here that are also in Premiere, of course, that you can use. And then this shows you your audio channels. This feature here is nice if you are working with different types of sound, that will change these menu items here to know how to work with it more effectively. So that's the audio section. Here is the cropping section, and you can do some transforming by moving it horizontally, vertically, and even rotate the footage. If, for example, this is a nice feature if you have a slight slant in your footage and you want to straighten it out. Here we can adjust the width, so if you want to zoom in on something, here's the height. If you don't care about maintaining proportions, just uncheck that, and then you can distort it as you would like. Now if you make some edits and you want to go back and undo them, you can just do this, or in a Mac it's just Command Z, Control Z on a Windows machine, and you can get rid of those adjustments that you made. So I will put all those back to the way I had them there. Okay, so you have an advanced menu here if you want to just crop certain sides of it. You want to reduce the opacity. If you have an overlay on another footage, this will feather the edge for more of a dramatic effect. Okay, so those are your controls over here, fairly basic, and you can find a lot of those controls up here, similar controls I should say, right here. This shows what's in view in the sidebar. You get your project panel here that will bring in your assets so that you can see your assets. If you don't want to see that, just uncheck it. And then you've got your sequence. So this works well if you want to do some filming and then do a voiceover, add some media, add a title, and then the orientation that you want. So if you were making something, and I'm sure they had Instagram in mind with the portrait mode, so if you wanted it in that mode, then you put vertical and square. If you're making a video for your Instagram post, Twitter, your Twitter post, whatever, we'll keep it horizontal since that's the default. And here, if you want to listen to the audio while you're scrubbing through your footage, loop through the footage, split the clip, apply transition. Again, some things that you can get over there. I forgot to mention over here, these icons, this is to split your clip. So you see where my indicator is here. This clip is highlighted. Come over here and click that. It will split it right there. And then you can actually take this footage and stack it up here if you want. Bring it back down, or we can hit Command Z and go back to the way we were. Okay, you have this add feature or this duplicate feature that will duplicate your footage just in case that's something that you want to do for effect. We will undo that. Here, like I said, is the expand the audio. Here, which is a nice feature, it will allow you to get some more controls on your track. So if you don't want to see one of your tracks, you can check that I there. If you want to lock it down so that it can't be changed in certain ways. If you want to mute the audio or record a voiceover, I should say do a voiceover. That doesn't mute the audio. This is the mute the audio button. So we don't want to do a voiceover at this point. So those are some simple features when it comes to editing your footage inside of Rush. Now again, I should say this isn't a tutorial on how to do it on the phone, whether it's your iPhone or your Android. Those would be a little different, but the dashboard is surprisingly similar. The gestures take some getting used to because you don't have the ability to click and drag in the same way on your mobile device, so that takes some getting used to. But at least for the desktop, you have a lot of the same functionality as you do in Premiere. And I should say that this is a great way to stair-step into using Premiere, because Premiere is a massive program that has a steep learning curve. So by using Rush, and Adobe very well could have released Rush for that purpose too, because I believe that you can purchase Adobe Rush and Photoshop together as a single package so that you can use Photoshop to enhance some images that you may want to put into your video, and then upload that into Adobe Rush, import it into Adobe Rush. So when you're done with your project, you can now your sequence, anything that's in this sequence box will be rendered, I should say, unlike in Premiere where you can highlight different parts of the timeline. You cannot do that in Rush. So when you use the in and the out parameters inside of the program, that's one thing that I would like to see in Rush in the future, is the ability to render just a section. And I haven't used Rush enough to really know whether you can do that. So if you're aware that you can do that, could you mention that in the comments and just let me know? That would be great feedback. So you're ready to export your video. So what do? Well, you come up here and you click on share. And when you hit the share button, you get this menu, this dashboard. You have local, and the blue here means that it is turned on, which means when the footage renders, this is what's going to happen. It's like the on switch. There's the YouTube feature, and if we want to turn that on, and if this is a really nice aspect of Rush, is you can log in. As you can see, I'm logged into my HandyHudsonite YouTube channel. So all I would have to do, and you can even put it up on a particular playlist as well. Once you create playlists in YouTube, here's where you can make the title, add your description, even set the privacy to public, unlisted, private, even put in your tags so that you can get better visibility for your video. And then down here, adding in your custom thumbnail. So you can do all of this before it even gets uploaded to YouTube, which is a great feature. And again, obviously over here on the right, you have your preview of your sequence. So you can upload, and again with Facebook, you can sign in. I'm not currently signed in, but you can sign into your Facebook page as well. Now it won't post automatically on Instagram and hopefully in the future they will have that capability. But what it'll do is it will render for Instagram and just store it on your local machine. You'll have to upload it manually. And then Behance, of course, since it's an Adobe product, it will seamlessly go in there if you choose to do so. So turn off the ones that you don't want this produced for. If you want it just a local, want to have it be just a local file, then just keep the top one checked for now. And then when you're ready to go, just click this export button down here like that, and it'll start rendering. Now if we were posting directly to Facebook or YouTube or Behance, it would render locally and then prompt you to upload the video. But you've already filled out all of the information, especially for YouTube, and it integrates with YouTube beautifully in order for you to do that. So I hope this helps give you a quick overview of Adobe Rush. It's in its infancy, so there are a lot of features that Adobe will hopefully put in. One that I would like to see is again the in and out points, so that you can only render certain sections of your timeline. Also, it'd be great if they could put in the ability to do slow-mo time lapse, which is not currently in this edition. So we'd like to see that, and I know I've heard from other reviewers who'd like to see that as well. Thanks again for watching the Handy Hudsonite, and be sure to subscribe, hit the bell, and like the video so that you can get updated on future videos, so that you can learn to be handy and get the job done.